Did it show up? Anything live stream?
It said we're being recorded.
Okay, good. So it's working. All right, I got that right. Let me turn that off. Turn this on. Share screen. Okay, share screen. There we go. Okay, what do you see there, Dawn?
I see disconnected and a whole bunch of cells on the left-hand side, so a computer screen of some sort.
Okay. I think I have the wrong. That's the right one. So what we're going to do, stop the share, and then share again. Okay. There we go. Do you see AJ's family photo?
Yeah, I see his ugly mug.
Okay. You know he's going to be watching you. He's going to get his own back on you.
Bueno.
Okay, fantastic. So let's see who else is here. It's me here. There should be about 21 people coming today. So let's see. So what's been exciting for you?
Oh, I've had an amazing time. I went to a rock concert, literally went straight backstage and took all my privileges like I normally do. And then went straight from there to one of my celebrity friends, didn't have anyone to watch his kids. So I told him I'd go ahead. I said, you just need me to keep them alive to Monday, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, all right, I got you. So I went straight from literally partying and hanging out with rock stars to watching storybots and going to the park. So it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
I've been living a very multifaceted.
I'm watching on Facebook.
Fantastic. Good.
Hi, AJ.
Hey, Dawn, I'd like you to meet a good friend of mine, Sean. Sean, how are you?
Hi, Sean. How are you doing?
He's a bit shy.
Hey guys, sorry, I get my mute unmuted. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday.
Good. Happy Wednesday. Sean, you need to meet a rock star friend of mine, Dawn. And she hangs around with all the rock stars in the world, and an amazing soul.
Don, I've actually heard your name a couple of times. I'm looking forward to chat more.
Yeah,
that's on the
Sharon's
bulletin.
Is this Don? Wait, which Don is this? Hold on.
Wait a second.
We're backpedaling now.
You sound familiar. Were you at the retreat?
This is the Don that I know from January crypto, baby.
Yep, I thought so, Gabe. I thought so. We know each other quite well.
I miss you.
I miss you too. How are you doing?
It's all about relationships. That's it. You know, the relationship you have with yourself, with other people, the relationship you have with money, with cars, with stuff, with people, things, the past, the future, the present. Everything is relationship based. Every single thing.
Amen.
Yeah, it's so powerful. Yeah. So Dawn, tell us about how we met. Tell Sean how we met.
Oh dear God. It's so funny. I was actually managing the social media for a concert up in Montreal. There was a whole weekend concert. It's Heavy Montreal and Punk 77. And on the way home, you take this little jet back from Montreal to New York and then New York to somewhere else. And so at the very last minute, I traded to go into the emergency exit row, because if you know anything about flying, you know that you pay extra for those if you request it, but they have to have those seats filled before they take off. So if you say, hey, I volunteer, you get that seat. So both Anil and I had done that apparently, because we both had other seats on the plane, and at the last minute traded to go into the emergency exit row. And we just started talking. We had a great time. He's just like, yeah, I've got all these things aligned, except I don't know anyone in music. And I'm like, I'm just coming back from a music festival. We need to chat. we're up probably, however, 10,000 feet, and the stewardess comes around and says, "Would you like your complimentary beverage?" We both look at each other and we're like, you mean like alcohol? And she's like, well, yeah, it's complimentary for the people in the emergency exit row. We again kind of do this almost cartoon like, huh? I'm like, you want your people in the emergency exit row lit? So we're like, all right. So me coming off of a concert, being up in the sky, probably being dehydrated, one Jack and Coke, and I'm flying. So we get off the plane. We get off the plane in New York, find out that he's in Orlando, but he's going somewhere else. I'm in Orlando. We're like, cool. Take the obligatory selfie, trade the contact information. Don't think anything about it. A few weeks later, he tells me that he's got a gig and if I wanted to come. And I'm used to working with a lot of entertainers. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll support you. I go and sign up for it. And I was just like, what the hell do you do? And I showed up, and it was a conference that people had flown from around the world pre-COVID, when everyone actually had to be in one location to talk to each other. People had flown from France and everything to Orlando to Celebration to just be into a room with this man to be able to get some of his knowledge. And here I just met him. Yeah. I just met him on a plane, and I was like, that's just my friend, you know. And we've been good like that ever since. He's just amazing. He's saved my ass a few times, like literally. AJ went ahead and did an assist one time. You know, I don't live a boring life. Let's just put it that way. So
no, you don't. No, you don't. And I was honored to get to know you too in January, by the way. So no, I mean, I'm not surprised. Neil, I think it just took a matter of 15 minutes of sitting next to Neil on a beach with a bunch of other great people before I realized this guy, I need him in my life. Right. So there's just so much greatness, and his energy is up there with the best of the best. I'm honored to know you and Neil. So grateful to be here too.
Everyone everyone that I've been introduced to that's in his circumference are some of the best, most powerful, genuine, straightforward, fun, amazing people I've ever met in my life. And when you put all of those together in one location, it's kind of like Nirvana, you know.
Yeah,
were you part of the pillow fight, Sean?
What's that? Sorry.
Were you part of the pillow fight? You didn't get the pillow. You weren't in the pillow fight, were you?
I think the pillow fight took place. Was it late night or early morning?
It was like 2:30. Giorgio thought that pillow fight was code for something else. I'm like, no, I mean pillow fight.
I may have been passed out down the hall.
Talk. So, Dawn, talking about amazing people, please meet Giuseppe Mascarella. As soon as he talks, you'll fall in love with him. As soon as he talks, you'll fall in love with him.
Talks. That's what happened intro.
Welcome, Amanda. How are you? Welcome, Sim. Welcome, Giuseppe. We'll just wait for a few more people. We have quite a number of people registered. But just introduce yourself, Amanda and Giuseppe.
Okay. Thank you, Anil, for organizing this event. It's a beautiful gesture of gratitude and support to us that I want to express my deepest gratitude. Every time I attend your session, I have a breakthrough, and you're just great. About me, I'm a professor of data, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and at the moment I am in Colombia, where I'm recovering from a little surgery on my nose. I broke my nose and decided I will fix it in the best plastic surgery location in the world.
Oh, fantastic. AJ was in Colombia about 8 days ago. Yeah, beautiful place, beautiful people. Fantastic. Amanda, would you like to introduce yourself? Sim, just say hello. Where you from?
Hello.
Hi, Sim. Where are you calling from?
Hi. Oh, I'm currently in Houston. Hello.
Oh, fantastic. Good. And what's your superpower?
My superpower. Good question. I love love. I care deeply about people. What else? I'm good with numbers.
You probably mean you're great with numbers.
I'm great with numbers.
Yeah. See, the language that we use creates the feeling that we have. And as human beings, we do everything for one reason. And it's for the feeling it gives us. We have a nice meal, a nice relationship, a car, a house, money in the bank for the feeling it gives us. So what we're seeking really in real life is a feeling. So that's a great distinction. Thank you for sharing that, Sim. Glad that you're on the phone, on the call here. Hey, Amanda, you have 3 people on the call. That's amazing. I know one of them is a baby, or do you have 2 babies there?
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
And it's Jesse's birthday today. Jesse's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We'll do a happy birthday. When everyone else joins in, we'll do a happy birthday. You're what, about 26?
29.
29. You look great. You look great. You look great.
I appreciate
So tell us
it.
where you're calling from, what your superpower is.
Well, we're calling from Southern California, specifically the Los Angeles area. My superpower is probably the ability to get outside myself. Natural, empathetic. I seem to disappear when I'm in a conversation with someone else, and it becomes all about them, and I absolutely love it. It gives me a rush. So
Fantastic. So can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Are you an empath?
I hear that so much, I don't know what it means.
Okay. So I've never seen a happy empath.
What is that? Oh.
Okay. So an empath is who takes on other people's energies.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can be empathetic, but
Yes.
not an empath, which means that you're detached. Okay.
Like, detached how? If you don't mind me delving into this with you.
No, great. I mean, this is about relationships. Okay. So if I dump stuff on you and you're empathetic, you say, oh, give it to me. And then you walk away, but then you hold on to it. It will not be healthy for you. That's what an empath does.
Oh, I see. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But if you say to me, oh, Anil, I'm so sorry you're going through this. What can I do to serve you? And then you'd move on without having that attachment.
Yeah. So probably former empath, became a little bit more conscious and more compassionate towards.
Fantastic. So you're empathetic to other people, and you're a great listener from the sound of it. And that you love helping people. So this is the distinction. The more attachments you have in life, the more painful your life is. The more rules that you have in life, the more painful it is. And it all stems from awareness. Here's awareness. Can you see that?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, awareness gives you.
Oh,
sorry?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so awareness gives you clarity. Clarity gives you focus. Focus gives you action. Action gives you results, which gives you everything. You cannot be happy, joyous, fulfilled, successful without awareness. So awareness is a master discipline. And what I'm promising you today is this, that you will learn many tools and methodologies that will allow you to lead a richer, fuller, happier life. And if you implement them, it'll make all the difference. And this is my beautiful family. Very, very proud of them. And, just so happy about them being in my life. So, you cannot change the past, but you can create a brand new future by the decisions that you make now. So what are you going to change today? And hopefully, and logistically, you will, if you just get one distinction and you start making that difference. So, I grew up in London, and I came up to live in the USA. And in 2008, I was on the verge of suicide. And it was, I remember it well, late November. And I had to tell my wife, I said, honey, something really bad has happened. And she looked up at me and said, what's going on? I said, honey, terrible. I've lost everything on the stock market, real estate. We're going to lose our car, our house, everything. And she looked up at me and smiled. And I thought, I don't think she heard what I said. I said, honey, did you hear what I said? She said, yes, honey, I heard what you said. I knew something was wrong because you're behaving a little bit strangely. But I thought it was something serious. And then I said, there cannot be anything more serious than this. That's the way I used to think. And then she said, honey, I thought you were dying. I thought you had cancer. I don't care about the money. And that was like rocket fuel to me. And you know, guys, ladies, if you have a partner that supports you no matter what, who doesn't beat you up, who doesn't make you wrong, who doesn't, you know, vilify you and get angry at you, but empathizes and loves you even more, that's the type of relationship you want. And I look at that. Amanda, you're so lucky. It's a beautiful thing. And you know, I was on a call the other day. There was this, it was a sales call, and the man was teaching sales. And he remember he used to be a speaker for Tony Robbins. He went into a sales meeting, and they're all salespeople. And he asked the question, "Who's a salesperson?" They all put their hands up. Who said who? Who's a great salesperson? They all put their hands up. And they said, "Look, you know, if you're a great salesperson, how much training have you done recently?" They said, "Oh, we don't need any training. We're great salespeople." He said, "Well, you know, that's what Michael Jordan used to say. But then he started doing 1,000 hoops every day, and he got a trainer and a coach, and he got better every day. So if you stop working on yourself, if you stop working on your relationship, eventually it's not going to be as great as it could be." So this is the secret. If I give Amanda one distinction, if I give you Sim one distinction, Giuseppe one distinction, the effect of that is huge. So for example, the benefit of an alarm clock is that it wakes you up. The benefit of that, it gives you more energy. The benefit of that, you have a good night's sleep. The benefit of that, you have more energy. The benefit of that, you have more time with family. The benefit of that, you earn more money. The benefit of that, you're more impactful. The benefit of that, you're happier, live longer. So that's just an alarm clock. So imagine if you get 20 or 30 or 40 new distinctions, where your life will be. It'll be in a beautiful place. Yeah. So that's the beauty of compounding. Einstein said the greatest force on this earth is compounding interest. He was wrong. The greatest force on this earth is actually compounding. So if anyone has a question, please put your hand up. I'm happy to answer them. You know, this isn't all about teaching, but I want to be able to solve or answer any of your questions. This call is recorded, so nothing too personal. But if there's a general question or you want clarification, even if it's for a friend, you know what I'm saying? Ask away. So if anyone has a question, just put up your hand right now. Anyone? Okay, good. Giuseppe, you have a question?
I do, but I want to see what you have in mind, because I saw some PowerPoint and I prefer that are you planning to present something?
No, there's no presentation as such.
All right.
I'm just going to teach you some.
Right. Then I want to share something. A recent movie in the Italian market is Malati di Amore, Sick with Love, no? And it was a very interesting exercise where two people were going to see a shrink because they will fall in love with all the men and women, wherever, that they will have sex or intimacy, or any kind of intimacy. And it was interesting how empathetic, care, love. So the entire movie was all about, is there anything wrong if you fall in love with everybody that is interesting? And how far can this go instead of being bad? It is almost like there is a movie that was like, if you cannot say no, no? What happens in your life if you just cannot pronounce no? It seems a silly movie, but in reality, that movie taught me a lot, that if you cannot say no, you really are impaired. It's an handicap. At the same time, this movie pretty much was playing with this concept. Is there anything wrong if you fall in love with anybody that gives you, even through the look, the touch, and so on, a moment of intimacy, and you just get flooded with hormone? And the way this actor was discussing, like, you know, as soon as a woman is there, looks at me, touch me, I just look at her eyes and fall in love with her. I get flooded by hormones and the dopamine and so on. And it was just an amazing movie on the concept of boundaries, or like it's okay if you just wander in the world and fall in love with anybody that gives you intimacy.
Fantastic. I will go to the one of the slides here. So this is what happens in relationships. People meet people, they suddenly find themselves in a relationship, and it's great until it's not, until something happens and then think, oh, he's not right for me, she's not right for me. So they say yes till it's a no, but it actually is the wrong way to do it. It has to be a no till it's a yes. So whenever you meet someone, it's a no until it becomes a yes. So what I'm saying is that you have to do something, and what you have to do is this: you have to do your due diligence. You have to find out as much as you can about the other person. You see, people don't do that. I was talking to someone the other day, and she spent three years with this person and didn't know much about him. Didn't know his parents, where they lived, what they did, any brothers, sisters, previous relationships, what the detailed stuff, which will warn you against a potential partner. Say for example, you're walking the street, you see a house, you say, oh, I'll buy that house. You would never do that. You would do your due diligence. You would find all you can about the house, then you make an informed decision. But people don't do that in relationships. And if you were to sell your own house, you wouldn't just put it on the market. You clean it up, you tidy it up, you make it very nice, very good looking, maybe bake some cookies or something, but you make it streetwise, it look great streetwise. So that's the same thing as us. If we're looking for a partner, we have to work on ourselves. And if you know the criteria and through doing due diligence on what you're looking for, it'll give you power. So if you've got pen and paper, please write this down. There are a minimum of the three basic traits that any partner must have. The first one is integrity. Okay, integrity means, curb appeal, that's the word I was looking for. Integrity means being your word, being on time, not lying, not telling stories, gossiping, being ethical, all that stuff. The second one is they have to be loving, not just to you, but to everybody, and not when they want to be. It cannot be a transactional love. And the third one is they have to be healthy, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Now, there is a fourth one, and that's normally playful, spontaneous, adventurous, athletic. So what happens in a relationship when someone meets, the thing that attracts people is the fourth one. Oh, they're athletic, they're good looking, they're charismatic, they're playful, they're fun, I like that. But then they forget about the other three: integrous, loving, and healthy. But when they find the person isn't healthy, the playfulness or the spontaneity kicks in, and it distracts them. It distracts them. So then they get hooked in again, and then they stay in a relationship longer than most, or longer than they should do. And then they think, oh, I don't want to hurt that person. So, there's a lot of dynamics involved here, a lot of dynamics. So I just want to, that's a big topic we just talked about. Does anyone have anything to say about that?
The playful piece has gotten me once or twice, Anil.
Yeah, of course. It's a big turn on. For me, playfulness is a big thing. For some, it's spontaneity. Now, here's a caveat: keep away from people who are charismatic, because they're always seeking attention. If they don't get it from you, they'll want to get it from someone else. So keep away from people who are charismatic, and that way you're going to avoid problems. You want someone who's going to be focused on you and serving you. Yeah, thank you for that, Sean.
Yeah, but you met on that piece though. You mentioned that before. I remember that. I forget what discussion we were in a group. You mentioned that, and I wasn't sure if it was Brittany or somebody that asked the question. But with charismatic, that's also could be a good quality, right? In terms of humor, sarcasm, if it comes with integrity, though, right?
Yeah, and it depends on the type of charisma. Is it an egocentric? Is it egocentric? Is it me, or is it service? And that's the distinction you need to make. And that's where you do your due diligence and you find out. But normally, when people are charismatic, it's normally egocentric. But there are occasions when they're just purely charismatic. They walk in and they have this energy around them, but it's based on giving. Like Richard Branson, he's charismatic, but he's about giving, serving. So the distinction is awareness. You need awareness to give you that clarity. That's the big thing. Does that answer the question, Sean?
Yeah, I gotcha. And without knowing Richard Branson, that was actually one of the people I thought about, that he appears to be quite charismatic. And I knew you knew him. So
yeah, absolutely. I've met him about 20 occasions, and we're going to meet him in July as well for his birthday, 72nd birthday. And he is charismatic. He's kind, generous, humble, playful, fun. He loves having fun, and it's very, very humble. And as soon as he walks in, there's that beautiful charismatic aura, vibrational energy around him. So yeah, good distinction. Thank you. So Amanda and Amanda, I see you laughing away. What are you laughing at?
Well, Jesse and I were just talking about if we fit those three things when we met each other.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things that what stood out to me when you said integrity was the being on time.
Good.
That I still struggle with.
Okay.
And I think it just depends on the situation, because I feel like I don't have to be on time for a party. Like the party continuously goes on, but Jesse wants to be there as soon as it starts. And I call it Filipino time. So he and I are
yeah, it's a PT, Filipino time, and we call it IT, Indian time. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you understand.
So Amanda, can I offer you a breakthrough here?
Yes.
Okay. The issue isn't whether you're late or not for the party. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is your communication with Jesse. That's what the issue is.
We actually, sorry. Here's the thing, Anil. When we go to a party, like one of our friends, he wants to be there on time. And I say, you know what, honey? I don't want to be there that long. So let's go a little bit later. And then so we're going on this back and forth, and he's like, no, we should be there earlier. And I'm like, yeah, but we have other things we need to do. So that's where he and I disagree, right? His priority is let's go to the party. And my priority is, okay, well, I still want to put on my makeup. And I have a kid to feed. And this the baby that you just saw, I just finished breastfeeding and he's asleep now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's role play. Okay.
Okay.
So you be Jesse and I'll be you.
Okay.
So Jesse, there's a party coming up. And I know you'd have to be on time.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why is it so important to you? Actually, what we'll do, Jesse, you be Jesse, and I'll be Amanda. Okay. So,
Okay.
Jesse, why is it important that you're on time?
Dude, I can own the room if I'm there early.
Well, why don't you go there an hour early, and then you can own the room for longer?
Oh, I actually do. She actually understated it when I said I like to be there on time. I actually like to be there about 15 minutes, half an hour early.
Okay.
I like having time.
So Jesse, when you ask me to do that, I
Uh-huh.
can't love you as much.
Oh.
Oh, why?
Because I'm rushed. I've got makeup to do. I've got 2 kids. I don't have certainty. I just can't put my pants on and leave. So I get angsty. I get upset. I get a little bit annoyed at you. And, you know, the party is still going to run. We're going to get there. But why don't we have some freedom around it? Then I could love you even more. You'd enjoy it more. You can stay longer if you like.
Oh, I appreciate you telling me, honey. Yeah. How long do you think you'll need before to get ready for us to take off?
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll give you a 30-minute warning.
Oh, good.
Okay, so if I say to you, I'm going to be ready in 30 minutes, you can plan for that. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, thank you too, baby.
So Amanda, can you see it's an issue of communication?
Yes, yes.
So ask him, was he sincere?
Are you sincere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him, would he do that for you?
Would you do that for me?
Yeah, we're working on it.
We have been working on it for a while.
I better run into.
But the thing is, you don't have to work on it for a while. You can have it now. All you need is an authentic communication between you so that you can lead this richer, fuller, happier life. The better your communication, the better your relationship. The better your communication with yourself, the better the relationship you have with yourself. And you're teaching the kids great communication skills, because as you develop that muscle, they develop that muscle.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay. So Jesse, how did you feel about that communication?
Oh, that's great. Because not only did I hear you, or did I make the attempt to hear you, you know, you gave me a metric in which to measure, you know, how long you would need to feel, and that will generate a feeling. And then I get to be on time as well. I love the win-win. That's what I strive for.
Yeah. And it's you have to be specific and measurable, remove the emotion and speak the truth and how you're feeling. You know, and you know, if you use this technique in the next 20, 30 years, the compounding effect of that is enormous. The quality of your relationship will improve, and the kids get to benefit too. How old are the kids?
This one's 2. Yeah, he is 10 months, and we have a 9-year-old as well.
Wow, that's a big gap. What's the 9-year-old's name?
I got him for free. His name was Elijah.
Fantastic. And what's the greatest gift you can give your kids?
Oh, a place to call home. Then in a sense, so like not the house, but you know, parents who are willing to hear them, and I think a place that they could come to really bear it all when if and when they need to.
Okay.
Also the confidence to go out on their own.
To me, it would be the preparedness, everything prepared, because I don't want them to leave the house and not feel like, how do you get a girlfriend? How do you get a car? How do you run a business? Like, I want them to learn from us and not have to learn from like YouTube. As much as I don't mind YouTube, right? Some parts are good, but there's some things I just don't want him to learn the internet from. So
Okay.
yeah, just a preparedness.
So fantastic. No,
Tony Robbins in the last event did this distinction during an intervention and said, what's the biggest gift you can give to your kids? Ask the same question you asked, I know. And the person in the audience said an education. That's in the 70s. We are in 2020. What's the best thing you can give to your kids? You know what Tony's corrected? Attention. We live in a society where we don't listen, we are not present, we don't give attention. And I was blown away. Like, I would have answered the way she answered, like critical thinking and so on. But apparently, we have had a society shift that is major. I was
okay,
shocked.
that's interesting. So I would say something different. I would say the greatest gift you can give your kids is this: give them the ability to handle life by throwing adversity at them that they can reasonably handle. Okay, so when my daughter was 7 and my son was 9, we took them into central London and we told them to get home. And we haven't seen them since. That was 22 years ago. Haven't seen them since. But if you see 2 Indian kids in the London Underground, they're mine. They're mine. You know, but again, they make a living out of it. So, but seriously, that's what we did. Yeah. So, you know, Tony's right. But it doesn't mean you don't give them attention, but you be attentive to them. Yeah. Because the thing is, if you give them too much attention, they get smothered, and it causes a problem. But it's the right amount of attention, it's the right amount of adversity, and it's the right amount of love and the right amount of education. But it all comes from awareness. Everything is around awareness, really. So thank you, Professor. Thank you for that. That's very helpful. Thank you so much. Is that the question you were going to ask? You had your hand up.
Yeah, I was dissecting the way you handle the conversation. To me, what was brilliant in the role play is that you changed the paradigm. Because and Amanda, correct me, I sensed a little bit of ego, like I want to go early, he wants to go late. I want to do this. Well, and then when we get stuck into this is who I am, it's ego that damages us and does to all of us. But what you did, Anil, was like, would you like to get more love? Or if I tell you, you will get more love if you are available to have a conversation and find a common ground. At that point, you diffused the ego. I am, because Amanda in the beginning was labeling the two. I'm the late, I'm the early. 2 labels full of ego, very difficult. But once you destroy the concept of labels, like, no, this is about a flow of love, the entire thing's completely diffused. Did I read it right?
I think that was great. I think the way that understanding like the both of us better and then being able to communicate, that was wonderful. Because it's most of the time communication. Normally it's he's on time while I'm in the car and I literally have my clothes in my bag and my makeup and we're there and I'm putting on makeup and like my clothes on while I drive. At the same time, still trying to give brushes and things to the baby so that they're like, oh. So,
but yeah. Anil, how much ego plays a devil's role in relationship?
It is the devil's role, and not just in a relationship, in your life. Yeah, the more ego that you have, the more likelihood there's going to be immense pain. And again, it stems from awareness. Ego is a killer of dreams.
But did I read right that the two were polarizing each other on ego was early on the right, and the reality was ego, the polarization of the.
Well, there's a few things here. One, that there's a righteousness. She wanted to be right. He wanted to be right. She had an attachment. He had an attachment. She had a rule. He had a rule because of the upbringing. And also there's a specific reason Jesse likes to be on time. Again, I could go deeper. I won't do it on this call, but we can go much deeper. And then when you find the root cause, that's the foundational, then from there you can build up something very beautiful.
I think that people will justify why I want to go early with millions of reasons. But my hallucination is that in reality, it's the ego the problem. I wanna be right, and I will find a way to justify it. But if I diffuse the fact that I don't care about being right, because actually I get more love, at that point I don't care about creating a story to justify it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, love out trumps ego.
Yeah. Well, with Jesse and I, it just depends on the situation. So we have a rule, and we let each other influence us. And if this one's not too crazy of an ask, then he's like, you know what, you can have this one, honey. It's fine. You know, we'll be a little bit later. Or this one, maybe it's my family's event. For instance, if it's anything related to my family, I'm like, honey, I don't want to go early at all. And he was like, okay, we won't have to go on time. Whereas if it's his friends or his family, he says, okay, I want to be early. And I'm like, okay, great. We'll be early for that. I'm sorry that we were late for lunch that one time. It wasn't you. Now that I'm on this call. But it's, you know, it's being able to kind of find the balance, because when we're leaving and getting out of the house, we have, you know, 2 young children. We have to dress and get ready and stuff. And one favors me more than Jesse. And then the other one favors Jesse more than me. So whenever we're trying to help balance each other, he's putting a stroller in this. It's just a balance. So I feel like maybe a little bit of ego, but we make fun of it. We make light of it. So I mean, not too much, I don't think. I mean, it's not something we necessarily argue about, but we just think it was interesting to see that as a part of integrity.
Yeah, and Amanda, you may not argue about it, but it causes internal strife, internal upset. Yeah, and then when you have the internal upset, you cannot love your partner as much as you want to, because it's impossible. It's impossible to be angry and frustrated and love at the same time. So something has to give. Yeah, good. Sim, what are your thoughts so far?
It's interesting because you mentioned something like, if you're great with communication with yourself, you'll be great communicating with others. I love that distinction. Could you share a bit more with the framework of like good communication with yourself?
Okay, so Sim, what is it you say to yourself that is negative?
I could have done it.
Yeah, you could have done it better. What do other people say about themselves? Oh, I'm stupid, I'm a failure, I'm not successful. What else do other people say?
I'm not good enough.
Yeah, I'm not good enough. What else?
I could be better, it can be done better.
Yeah, I'm not worthy, I'm not smart enough, I'm not old enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not smart enough, there's something wrong with me. So these are the things that we say to ourselves as a negative communication. And what happens is, if it's creating neural pathways in the brain that says, oh, you are stupid, you are not good enough, you will never succeed, da 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 da. And that's where you have to throw some awareness around it. So when you have awareness, that gives you clarity. Okay. So then the awareness is everything. And then you can change the neural pathways to say, you know, the truth is, I am smart, I am kind, I'm generous, I'm playful, I make an impact. When I enter a room, people feel my energy. When I speak, people listen. Then you can change the neural pathways. And once you change the neural pathways, your vibrational energy changes. When your vibrational energy changes, you show up as a different person, because people will see and notice. Have you ever felt really happy and people say, hey, Sim, what's going on? Because they notice, yes?
Yeah. So is it similar to like primary question, you think? Like the communication with yourself?
Say that again.
It's the communication with yourself similar to primary question?
Okay, what's your primary question?
My primary question is what's next?
Okay, so again, it's awareness. So the question you ask yourself the most is what? What's next?
Yeah.
Okay, what could you change that to?
What can I appreciate right now?
Yeah. What could be even more powerful?
how can I love more right now?
Okay, is that what you want?
Possibly not all the time, right? Like,
Okay, so how about something like, how could I be even more successful right now?
yeah,
Okay, how could I succeed right now?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
And so something just popped into my head. Repeat after me. Ready? I am the light.
I am a light.
I am the light.
I am the light.
Okay, who noticed a change in her right then? Sim, you are the light.
I am the light.
Yes. It's beautiful. You have a beautiful energy around you. And when you get present to the truth, everything changes.
Okay, I get you. So it's more of like an internal dialogue when you communicate with yourself, and it's that awareness is key, right? What you're telling yourself consciously and subconsciously. I guess a lot of communication with myself initially, when you mentioned it, I thought it's more of like a conscious thing, but I think it's a lot of it is actually also subconscious.
Well, it's a beingness, not a doingness.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's who you're being. Are you being love? Are you being present? Are you being the light? And you were just now. Now you've lost it because you're in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember to stay in your heart, and that will give you that clarity. That's better. Yeah. Yeah. And then when you're in that space, there's no attachment. There's a letting go. There's no expectations. There's no judgment. And you're just being that human being. And when you be that person, you'll earn more money, make a bigger impact, attract more people, create a great partner with you, find your mission, purpose, and passion. So it starts with the beingness. Thank you. So Sim, can you pick Giuseppe? He wants to speak.
Hi, Giuseppe.
So, Anil, you have been emphasizing awareness. And awareness is the capacity to understand the situation, is critical thinking, in my mind as an engineer. But in your journey, it seems like the internal dialogue, I got lost a little bit. How do you define awareness in the framework that you're talking about right now in relationship?
Okay, so see, awareness is about noticing and just observing without judgment, without wanting to fix anything, and just seeing what there is to see.
So it's critical, unbiased critical thinking.
Well, it's an observation. So there's no judgment. There is what it is. So, you know, you're observing something detached.
Yeah, but you know,
no judgment.
Yeah, you observe something, and well, she said this. She said, "I like to be earlier." Okay, you're observing. Critical thinking is, why is she making a point about the difference?
Yeah. So that's something else.
Yeah, the critical thinking is it still awareness, or is something like layer 2?
Well, it's critical thinking isn't about awareness. It's about wanting an answer, wanting a solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is,
I
you know,
struggle
so,
with it. I scan reality for understanding the why and understanding patterns and recognizing patterns. But here, I hear you say you're just observing. So I'm now feeling like, is it 2 layers or is it just the same?
Well, it's an equilibrium. So you observe, then you ask the question, then you observe, you ask the question, then you observe. So it's a very interactive. You can't just stay in this space unless you have built that muscle. So great. Yeah.
Awareness is this game of observing unbiased and thinking, what does it mean? What is the pattern? And then once you start to recognize a pattern, you look like, is it really true? Verify. Yes, it is true. What are the consequences? So it's a circle of observation and insight, observation and insight. The more you keep going, at that point, in a relationship, awareness is your presence to understand the situation, the patterns, and, well, in my world, solve it. I know not for everybody, my primary question is how do I fix it? So I will go like, how do I solve it? But for other people, because I'm a man,
absolutely.
But for other people,
absolutely.
Other than solving is how do I actually, Tony tells us that the presence and the listening, it's already powerful enough. You don't need to solve anything.
No, and it's just, and I think it's an equilibrium, but that's my opinion. So thank you, Giuseppe. Always very good. I think Vikas, you have a question?
Yes. Hi, Anil. How are you?
I'm amazing. Where are you calling from?
Seattle.
Seattle. The Starbucks Foundation, Microsoft,
Amazon, Boeing.
Amazon. Yeah, there you go. How are you?
Okay, I have a question in terms of relationship and raising kids. I think when I dialed in, somebody else was asking similar questions. So what we have is me and my wife have different philosophies about raising kids in terms of one of the examples I would give, my son is like 8 years old, and my wife feels that he's a gamer. So if she's okay if he plays a video game for a few hours a day, it could be 1 to 5 hours a day. She feels it might be okay because gaming is a good job and a good future. So, and then I have his iPad, I have screen time on it. And she would like, we would say 30 minutes. He will come back and say, give me another 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So we'll give him more time, and she will keep requesting and he will keep requesting. I keep on giving time. So challenges is, from my point of view, she feels that I am controlling. I'm a top-down dad who comes from the top as an authority. And given my son is 8 years old, and why I don't do love. So from my son's perspective, what he does, he would come home from school, and first thing he will do is exhaust his time on the iPad. When that is done, and this is my story, my wife will probably have a different story. So, but from my point of view, he will exhaust his time on his iPad. He will then go and pick up mom's phone, play on it. If he's not, then he goes out and watches TV, and whichever device I lock on him, he goes to the next device. And if all the devices are locked, then he will go to mom and say, I need more time. Sometimes she agrees, sometimes she doesn't. But me and my wife, we end up having a disagreement all the time about this. Because I feel, just to finish it up, because I feel I have a TV addiction too. Because when I watch TV, I cannot stop watching. I have to finish it.
Okay.
So I feel my son might have something similar also. And my wife doesn't have a TV addiction, but I do. So I can tell like he might be following in the same footsteps.
Okay. So who gets more upset?
I think all three of us gets upset.
Okay. And what if you could remove that upset?
So the thing only upset I know is like, okay, just let my son do whatever he wants to do and not be in the middle.
Well, no, that's giving up. But how could you get everyone happy?
That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay. So would you like me to tell you?
I would really love that.
Okay. So You be the 8-year-old. Kirsty's egging me on here. Okay, so because you be the 8-year-old and I'll be you.
Okay, I am. Give me 15 more minutes. My game is in the middle. Just give me 15 more minutes.
Okay, son, can I ask you a question?
No. Just give me 15 minutes right now. My game is in the middle. By the time I answer, it'll be gone.
Okay, so I need to ask you a question.
But give me 15 more minutes. Mom,
So,
Dad is not giving me 15 minutes.
So you have to be a little bit reasonable with me, okay? So I'm asking you a question. Can I ask you a question?
After you give me a minute, give me time. My game
Okay,
is in the
so
middle.
I've given you 6 extra hours. After you finished, now can I ask you a question?
Okay.
What are your grades like?
I'm sorry.
What grades do you get?
I get all A's.
Okay. Do you get sick and tired of asking for extra time?
No.
So you enjoy having a fight every single time to get extra time?
I don't enjoy it, but you control too much.
Yeah. So what if I remove the controls? How would that be for you?
Then I can watch whenever I want.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you be happy if I removed all controls?
Yes.
Okay. I will do that on one condition.
And what is that?
Would you agree to that condition?
Depends.
Would you agree to that condition?
What is the condition? Am I getting more time or less time?
You're getting as much time as you want.
Okay, what is the condition then?
Okay, the condition is this. As soon as you come home from work, you do your homework first, continue to get grade A's. As soon as you've done your homework, you can do whatever you like.
He's in elementary, he doesn't get homework.
Even better. Is your objective to have a happy son?
Yes.
Okay, so instead of saying, I'll give you unlimited time, give him 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. It doesn't matter. If he's happy, you're happy. If you're happy, your wife's happy. If wife's happy, everyone's happy. You know, you're fighting every day.
But that's not good for him. It's like if he tomorrow says, okay, let me drink or let me do smoking, let me do something else.
Okay. Supposing he was a tennis player
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to play tennis 5 hours a day, would you let him play?
Sure.
Yeah. So a friend of mine is a billionaire and he got to be a billionaire by playing video games. Yeah. By you denying him the time, you cannot love him, he cannot love you. And it causes fights. No one's happy, no one wins.
Mm-hmm.
He may grow out of it or not. He may become a great gamer. You will be amazed at the amount of money these gamers earn and how much respect that they get.
Well,
It's a serious business.
I'm not, yeah, I understand that from a business perspective, but isn't it that addiction we are inculcating in him, that habit of playing?
Well, you're causing the addiction by refusing him time, and then he wants it. As soon as he says no, he wants it. As soon as you say no, he wants it. But if he has all the time in the world, he can just say, okay, I don't want to do it now. But by you saying no, he wants to say yes. By you saying no, he wants to say yes. And this is a much deeper question because, you know, we need to go a little bit deeper privately on this because, you know, there's a lot more to it than just a simple gaming. I see that you're distressed and your wife is distressed and he's distressed. And the thing is, it can get very serious with children. We have to be very careful with children. And if we deny them certain things, they can get very upset. Is that right, Kirsty? Yep. You want to just say a few words?
Yeah, entirely. I would love to say a few words. I really appreciate what you've said, and I hear you and I feel you, but I feel that you really, really have some kind of barrier, if I'm honest with you, towards Anil. And I'd like to just say to you, from me to you, to just like let it go and just seriously hear him, because he's one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my whole entire life. And he's changed my life, my daughter's life, my husband's life. And I know that he will do the same for you and your family too. So all I'm saying is, as much restrictions you put on it and try and figure out reasons, because that's what we generally do as people. We always try to think, no, you're not right. Like, I know better. Like, I know better because it's my family. But try and let go of all of that and just like hear someone that has been there, done that, and is such an inspiration. And that's all. That's what I'd like to say to you, my friend. That's what I'd like to say to you, my friend. And I know that everything's going to work out for you 100%. But please, please, please hear him and listen to him, because trust me, from my point of view, it's helped me immensely. And you and your family are going to be all okay. You just need to listen. That's all it is. There's a difference between hearing and listening. Everybody can hear anything that goes in here, but when it's listening, it's actually listening and actually getting in and sinking deep, and you actually listen and actually take accountability for it and actually do it. That's all I'd like to say right now. And I wish you all the best of love, and that's all I have to say. I'm not going to take much more time.
And
Thank you.
Kirsty would not have been able to say that a year ago. And it's 2 a.m. where she's coming from. She's in the UK, so it's 2 a.m. So she's, stayed up late. Thank you, Kirsty. So again, if we need to have that conversation, and because just hit me up, we can talk privately. Okay. So I'm going to have these calls every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you, I'll send all of you a link for the next call. And if you need any one-to-one, or you will need some time with me, go to chatwithanil.com. I'll put it in the chat here. And we will have the same call. Obviously, it won't be the same call, but we'll have a conversation about different topics, because different things will come up. And one of the greatest gifts I've had in my life is my son and daughter. And because I know that you love your son, and I know that this is a very touchy subject, but if it's handled right, you get to enjoy him, he gets to enjoy you, and you get the benefits of the awareness and clarity and practical tools. So thank you, everybody. Same time next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll send you all the link. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Anil, my wife is really happy that you gave that answer.
Okay, that's good. A happy wife is a happy life.
Cool, thank you.
Can you tell them he codes at the age grade of 15 years?
Okay, I gotta go. All right, guys.